for most. Maybe it is a Monday afternoon for you, or it is a Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining me on this very, very hot night for me. It's extremely hot outside, but I decided to speak about this issue. Speak about Sagittariusshawty, because she had, I think, 2 lives yesterday, July the 4th, and she talked about a lot of things that really need to be addressed, that I thought, hey, might as well do a live stream, right? So here we go. Hopefully everybody's okay. Nice to see a few people in the chat. Tiny Dancer, hello, 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 hello. Oi, I guess you meant hi, but oi is okay as well. Justice James, hey, 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 what's up? Tammy Chaudhry, what's up? Hey, what's up, Tammy? Where are you from? You in Canada or what? Hey, what's up? Hopefully you are okay. Anna Paki, hey, what's up? You don't know anything about Sagittariusshawty. I know, right? Because I've never had a Sagittariusshawty live. Pretty much my lives have really been mostly foodie beauty. Then I'll do a live on Shani, and then James Soroka, but never on Sagittariusshawty. Yep. Hal the Bird Lady, yes, for sure. She has had a very, very difficult life because a lot of things unfortunately have happened to her in her life, and that does make it difficult. That does change you when you have certain traumas happen to you, especially when you are in a certain lifestyle where you are a working girl. So with that being said, Jamie, hey, 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 from Michigan, what's up, what's up, what's up? Oh, Tammy, you're from Oklahoma. Well, hopefully you are okay in Oklahoma. Nice to see you. So I have to say this might be triggering to a lot of people, because what I'm going to talk about is more serious things than what we normally, well, I can't even say that, because what Foodie Beauty has been doing is actually extremely serious, and she has the potential to hurt a lot of people. But with this might be triggering, because I'm going to talk about stuff that may involve grape. You drop the G. Yes, that is grape. You drop the G because I can't say that 4-letter word, else YouTube will demonetize me. Anyways, this video is still going to be demonetized because I'm going to set it to where I'm talking about sensitive issues. And by that default, it's going to be limited anyways. But I just like to say, hey, be warned, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. And that might trigger people based on their experiences, or experiences around them. So a lot of people don't know about Sagittariusshawty. Well, Sagittariusshawty is, I guess, a divisive person that's online. She has over 100,000 plus subscribers, and she talks about the whole life. She talks about, the prostitute lifestyle and what she went through for 8 years. And because of that, it has, made her into who she is. It has made her into the person who she is. And she has built up a lot of experiences, a lot of life experiences, where she's able to maneuver a lot better on the street, as you would call it, than a average person that hasn't experienced a lot of this stuff, because it is an extremely hard life, and she has been in it for 8 years. Tiny Dancer says, have I ever been to MB, Monty? MB as in Manitoba. Of course, I have been to Winnipeg, Manitoba. I vacationed there a few years ago. It was pretty cool. The speeding cams were not that cool, but I did go to, I forgot where that area is, where there's a lot of shops and eateries and food that everybody goes to. So I have been there. Shawana, hi from Saskatchewan. Well, hello to you. Hopefully you are okay from Saskatchewan. I love Saskatchewan. What's up? What's up? Moderate Carb Maven. Howdy from Maryland. Hey, 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 moderate carb maven. Hopefully you are okay. Tiny Dancer, yes, the Forks. I love the Forks. You know, that was an amazing place. I love visiting Winnipeg whenever I can. And the Forks is awesome. So, what can I say about Sagittariusshawty? If you guys haven't seen my videos, she is a person who built her, I guess, her reputation up on, talking in a manner about prostitution, basically, in a manner where she just talked about her experiences with guys, with hoeing, with, pimps, and, escaping with her life, and a lot of many things that are unfortunately involved in stuff such as trafficking. Because in the video we are gonna see, she explains how she believes that she was trafficked, and it does happen a lot. It happens in America, it happens in Canada, and all over the world. People are trafficked, and a lot of times it's the weakest of us all. Dr. Emily, I think I can beat you all. Hello from Iowa. What's up, Dr. Emily? Nice to see you here. Sagi's brother's music is pretty good though. Yes, I did see that latest music video. The music video was good. Cheesy at times, but I like it. It's kind of cheesy good where it shows like a typical Canadian family. Can I even say that? I guess so. They were drinking beer. They were having a good time. Like a Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, Tri-City area family. And it showed her in a light that, she has a family. She has a brother. She has a father that, care about her. So that was pretty dope. And plus, she was actually pretty good in that, where she, did her ad-libs, her verse. So that was really, really good. Hal, the bird lady, says, sometimes it's the only way to look at it. Can't let it defeat you. Yes, exactly. So Sagi had 8 years in the prostitution life, and a lot of people don't make it out of there. It's literally, you could say, maybe akin to drugs. The more you're into that lifestyle, the harder it is to make it out of it, because there's so many factors. Like, it can even parallel the drug lifestyle, where once you're selling yourself, selling your body, it's creates a spiral, and you can get into a lot of other things. You can get into drugs, of course, and you can get into being trafficked, being pimped out, and a lot of these guys will do some very, very savage things to you. Very, very savage. Plus, there's a spectrum in the pimpage as well. So the spectrum goes from bubblegum pimping to gorilla pimping. So if you don't know what bubblegum pimping is, a bubblegum pimp is the type of guy who will, sweet you up. That's why it's called bubblegum. He's sweet. He'll say stuff like, oh, I'll buy you furs, I'll buy you this, I'll pay for your rent, I'll buy you a car. All you gotta do is, sleep with these guys for me, but not in those words, but you know what I mean. That is what a bubblegum pimp would be. Sarah Lavender, hey Monty, hey, what's up? Momosita, thank you for joining me, Momosita. Thank you very much. How are you? Nice to see you. As I was saying, so that is a bubblegum pimp. Compare and contrast that with a gorilla pimp. A gorilla pimp is the type of guy who, will drape you up, push you around, tell you what to do, get angry, slap you around, and treat you like property. So those are the two ends of the spectrum, and there's a lot of people that can be anywhere in between. A lot of people did not celebrate. How old? Donna Lewis, how old is Sagi? 25. A lot of people didn't celebrate Canada Day this year because of one very important thing. It's about the Native people, especially Native children, being taken away and put in residential schools where they were forgotten. Basically, mass graves have been found on several different properties, and finally this is being brought to light. It's been decades long of this stuff going on, and finally it is being brought to life. And that's a good thing because this is a stain on the Canadian system. This is a stain on Canada, and pretty much every child does matter. Yes, Tiny Dancer, every child does matter. And I've seen it where a lot of guys who want to traffic or get girls to work, what they will do is they'll go to a lot of native reserves. We have a lot of native reserves here all over Canada. There's many in my area. You could go to ones near Hamilton, Caledonia. You could go to one near Niagara Falls, Chippewa. You could go to so many here. You could even go to Manitoulin Island, which is the largest, I believe, freshwater island in the world. There is so many around here, and on these reserves, I'll just put it this way. When native people were put on these reserves, they were put on land that was barren, was on that where you couldn't cultivate. Pretty much they were put away and sent away, far away from the regular everyday people. Yes. Miss Agatha says, not native, indigenous. Please be respectful. Okay, sure. I'll say indigenous. I didn't think it was being disrespectful to say native, but sure, we'll go with indigenous. So indigenous people were set aside and put away in certain areas where I don't feel it was proper. It was not a good thing to do, but a lot of these native bands and people did survive and prosper and actually did very, very well for themselves. For example, with Ramara Band, which is just north of Aurelia, where they have Casino Rama. So they are prospering, they are doing well. But when you go on a native reserve, you see a lot of things. Unfortunately, you see a lot of things where there are a lot of issues that native people, or should I say indigenous people, have to go through. And unfortunately, I can always tell a reserve when I'm on one. If I'm on Manitoulin Island, I can tell when it is a reserve because of what the system has done to a lot of native people. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is this. So you can judge a society by how we treat people, especially people who we feel a certain way about. You can judge society on how we treat people who, how would I put this, the weakest link. Not to say that native people are a weakest link, but to say that we have done a lot of things that are not good to native individuals. That's what I'm trying to say. Native people have not been done right in the decades, hundreds of years in Canada. That is what I'm trying to say. So when you look at it that way, there's a lot of guys, men and women, people that will go to a lot of native reserves all over Toronto. I've heard the stories and pick up young girls and women who want to get out of these reserves. Angel Wings. I think I have only watched Sagi once. I couldn't understand her. Well, what couldn't you understand? Please tell me. So I've heard many stories where guys, city guys, a lot of guys from Toronto, a lot of guys from London, Ontario, a lot of guys from Kingston, Sudbury will literally go onto reserves and get women who want to get away from the life that they currently have and go to the big city. A lot of people have big city dreams. And with these big city dreams, they get caught up in a situation where a guy will speak to them online, a guy would talk a lot of things, and these guys will pick these women up and take them into Toronto. But why they're taking them into Toronto isn't for, isn't a good thing. I'll just put it that way. I'm a lost for words at the moment, but why they are being taken into Toronto isn't for anything but to be trafficked, and that is very, very unfortunate. I've heard many, many stories, especially from women that actually come back to their reserves from all over. I've heard these stories from people who have been trafficked, and they tell me what has been done to them. So this is still a really, really huge issue. I'm not saying this is the issue with Sagittariusshawty, but I'm saying that this is still a big issue, and it still happens here in Canada and as well as America. So overall, Sagittariusshawty got herself into certain types of situations, and to be honest, anybody can get themselves into this type of situation. Kiki says Native is fine with American Indians. Assure you. Well, thank you very much for that, Kiki. I appreciate it, but I guess I'll use the term interchangeably. I didn't think, it was offensive to say Native Canadian, Indigenous. Okay, but we will. Sagi has a pimp. She did have a pimp. She did. And we're going to get into that. She did have a pimp. So as I was saying, anyone can get themselves into a lifestyle where they are being trafficked. Only the right sort of situations have to happen, where you are vulnerable, where you are in a certain type of emotional state, so you are open to a lot of suggestive things. And as a human being, I've been vulnerable many, many times, where I've been open to many suggestive states and things, and it just takes the kind of guy to come around, man or woman, to come around and take advantage of that situation. So overall, I think that's what happened to Sagittariusshawty. In the video, she did say that it was around the time where her mom died and she was going through a lot of stuff. So all it takes is just the right formula, right situation, right amount of everything, and then, your life starts going a certain way. Tiny Dancer says, yes, my friends have told me horror stories going up on reserves here in Manitoba. It said, yes, Winnipeg, Manitoba, there's a lot of issues out there that we can speak to and about. And, there's a lot of issues that are going on with the Indigenous population still in Canada. There's a lot of atrocities and injustices that happen. So we really have to speak on that. And hopefully what has happened with these residential schools opens the door to conversations and help aid to a lot of Native families, reserves, and whatnot. Kiki says, my family on the reservation struggle. Most are alcoholics. Yeah, that is what is happening with that I've seen. And not saying that all Natives are alcoholics, but I've seen enough Natives, especially being on a lot of reserves, because I did have a friend growing up that was half Native, and we used to go to the reserve a lot. So I've seen my fair share of a lot of things that have happened to Native people in and around their reserves. So let's just get into the video with Sagittariusshawty. Let me share my screen here and we can talk about it some more. Share my audio, and here we go. Once again, this might trigger a lot of people. So if you're triggered by grape stuff, by pimping stuff, by, prostitution, please log off, close this video now. This is your final warning. Thank you. We will go ahead. So yep, if you're triggered by grape, drop the G. This is your final warning. So let's get into the video.
There's nothing wrong with my lips. Like, literally, like, if you saw them in real life, you'd be like, oh my god, they're fucking nice, bitch. I literally said this before, and I'll say it again. Fucking, when I'm on live on YouTube, the thing flips, and it makes my face, like, look fucking dumb.
Anna Packett says, I might be seen as a prude here, but promoting sex work is not a good image. Well, I agree with you. If you're into sex work, okay, sure. There's different levels, tiers of sex work. Some people do it where they're in a safe environment, and other people do it where they are not in a safe environment. Plus, the government on the selling side is legal. On the looking for sex is illegal. So let's just put it out that way. I don't think romanticizing sex work is a good thing, because you know there are a lot of impressionable young minds out there that will think it is very romantic, cool, and hip to get into this sort of stuff. And it's not. There's a lot of dangers, a lot of things with this kind of life. So Donna Lewis says, how did she get into this life? Well, Donna Lewis, we're going to get into that in the next few minutes. She is going to tell her story. So please, 5 to 10 minutes and she will tell you everything. Dee Dee, please smash the like button. Thank you very much for that, Dee Dee. Please, everyone, smash the like button. Don't shame sex workers. I do OnlyFans on the side of a healthcare job. Dang, Tiny Dancer. Dang, okay. Well, this is even a whole new conversation here when we compare and contrast OnlyFans to sex work, because a lot of sex workers are saying that OnlyFans is not sex work. So that is another conversation we're gonna have for another time, but let's just get into the video.
I don't have a Newfie accent.
Dee Dee, thank you. $1.99. Dee Dee, thank you so much. Yeah, Tiny Dancer, a lot of people are saying that OnlyFans is not sex work. It's not.
I don't have a Spanish accent either.
It's a whole new conversation on that.
You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking, cause stop trying to tell me that I have a fucking accent. Nothing happened to the. Oh. Well, you just exposed it, but nothing happened to the sponsorship. You have the same accent. I have the same. If anything, it's a KW accent. Do you wish you were black? What? What? I wouldn't want to be anybody besides me. And I don't have a KW accent either. I literally grew up, like, in Toronto anyways. Like, I was literally never in Kitchener, you know? Like, I started working as a teenager. And when I was working, I literally just, like, stayed out in Toronto and shit, like, to work.
When she says work, she means prostitution. So, there you have it, folks. Sagittariusshawty's been doing sex work for 8 years. She's 25. 25 minus 8. That's 18. And there, it's confirmed. As a teenager, Tiny Dancer says, is she doing wild content? I guess. Well, what do you mean by that? She is still doing OnlyFans content. So if that is your question, then yes, she's still doing OnlyFans, because she still makes good amount of money from OnlyFans. If you're asking about her YouTube content, if it is wild, as in wild stories, wild actions, behaviors, she has actually dumbed down on a lot on that, and she has been losing subscribers, but she started doing a lot more content and going live again, so she gained back subscribers. But a lot of people are still saying her content is bland and boring. She says she is Mick Mac Kiki.
You have that fake Jamaican accent just like Chromas. I don't have a fake Jamaican accent, and Chromas doesn't have a fake Jamaican accent either. I don't like her, but she doesn't have a Jamaican accent. What? Yeah, no, I actually started, no, I didn't.
Yep, she's still on OnlyFans.
How did you start working?
Yeah, she has a
I'm
tongue
gonna do
ring.
a story time on it, because when I started to tell you guys why or like how I got into starting working, um,
For sure,
anyways,
Sagi will tell the truth.
when I told you guys how, I'm trying not to read the comments. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. When I told some of you guys how I started and like got into like the sex work business, I'm definitely blocking you. I can't stop reading that.
She says she is not white. Whenever if she's asked, she will just say that she's native. I believe she's native mixed, but she will just describe herself as just being native.
A lot of you guys said that I literally got trafficked.
Zero. Everybody
and then I
says
started
that.
to think about it, and I think I did get trafficked. So I don't know. Like, I was just like casually talking about it. There's a lot of shit that like happened to me that like I now realize is actually super bad. But yeah, I'm gonna do a story time on it.
Yeah,
I
she's
just
gonna
feel
do a
like a
story
lot of
time
people
now.
are gonna see it and like realize who it's about. And like my old pimps are gonna be like, why would you make that story time? Like, why would you say that shit? And then people are gonna get mad at me, but like, I don't know why I would care, but I just like, I don't know. Okay, there's only 500 people. Okay, I'm gonna just say it real quick, cause I actually want to know what you guys think about it. Okay, so basically what happened is my mom died and I became an alcoholic and like started drinking every day. And these guys basically like started like putting me in tellies and shit, but they didn't pay me or like cut me under the money. They would pay me in alcohol and just like give me bottles to drink, and like every time like I got a certain amount of money, they would give me more alcohol to drink. And like they would make me work 24/7, and like I wasn't allowed to sleep, and like I wasn't allowed to go home. And they did that for like a couple of years.
Can you imagine that, not getting paid, just being in a room, and then they set up some tricks for you to have sex with them and not pay you and not let you sleep? Like, it's messed up even hearing that, but this is what these guys do. They don't give a shit about you. You're just there to make them money. All through the night, morning, day, and night, you will have tricks come over and have sex with you. This is what these guys do. So this is in no way promoting this type of stuff. This is actually the opposite. This is giving people a clear indication of what kind of lifestyle this is. Crazy.
And then I would like break down a lot because like my mom had just died. So like I'd be like, oh, like my mom's dead, like be like bawling my eyes out and shit, and then they would just like make me drink more and just like bring in another trick. And then when money wasn't coming in, they would like try to like get me to do things that I didn't want to do, like really gross things.
Yep, there's always, this is what I call up in the ante. She started at age 18 because she says she's been, actually no, I'm incorrect. She would have started at age 17 because she said that she's been in it for 8 years and she was 25 when she said that. So 25 minus 8, that's 17 years old. Can you imagine her at 17 years old doing this? This is the trauma that has happened in her life and caused her to be the way she is. So I was gonna get into one thing. What she's talking about is called up in the ante. Well, that's what I call it, where it's a lot of guys, they're scumbags where they will actually have logbooks or talk about different types of prostitutes in the area, and they will up the ante where you have to start doing more hardcore stuff. Same thing that happens in porn, where at first it's just a guy, then all of a sudden next it's like two guys or three guys or a train or a guy girl or in the booty, they, or getting golden showers. This is called upping the ante to me. This is what happens a lot of the time, the same thing that happens in porn. So that's what she's talking about.
What does a Motel 6 girl mean? I don't really know. Okay, that just made me sad to talk about.
It is sad. No justice, no peace. Hey, what's up? Hopefully you are okay. Tiny Dancer, I've heard that before, Monty. Incredibly sad. Yes, it is incredibly sad. And if you don't know, I actually did some research years ago because somebody told me their story about they got taken off the reserve by some guy and got into a situation like this. And I started doing my research, and there's still, I actually Googled these sites, they're still around. There's Serb, there's Merb, and there was Turb. These are the three sites. Serb as in CERB, and Turb as in TERB, and Merb as in MERB. So they stand for, let me actually Google it right now. Let me Google it right now because okay. Turb is Toronto Escort and Massage Review Board. Merb is Montreal Escort and Massage Review Board, and Serb is Canadian Escort and Massage Review Board. So basically, a lot of guys will go on these sites and start putting out lists, or they literally, it's like a equivalent of a Kiwi farm where they'll have threads on girls and talk about them like, oh, she's good, oh, she'll do it in the booty, she only takes 40 roses if you get her in the mornings and all the, yeah, exactly. Yes, Mustang, yes, you know about this. It's all a crazy stuff like that. So they're still around.
People have called me that. Yeah, it's a diss, hun, but like, I don't take it like a diss because I really like Motel 6. I'll be your mom, Sagi. Thanks, hun. I have a big head. I'm sorry I asked, Sagi. You need trauma therapy, no, for real though.
Donna, she does have a problem with drinking still. And in some ways I can understand why.
Oh, for everyone who was asking where my dad was when that happened, my parents, okay, so like I grew up with my parents together. And like this is gonna sound so weird. But like I always wish that my parents separated because like all my friends' parents were divorced and like they had like separate houses and like 2 rooms. Like I was always like, oh, like I want my parents to separate so that I could have separate houses and 2 rooms. But if that sounds really weird. But anyways, while I was doing this, like we were coping in our own ways. While I was off like drinking every day and like turning tricks or whatever, my dad was at home breaking down and like sleeping all the time, you know? We both dealt with it in our own ways.
And there you have it, folks. That is the trigger. That is the trigger where if people find you in a state like that where something is going on in your life and you're not dealing with it in well, I can't even say in a bad way. You're not dealing with it well, then they can exploit you. And a lot of these guys search for young women all over Canada, all over America, and exploit them when they are at their most vulnerable.
Like, my parents were together for 25 years. Like, my parents were literally like soulmates. Like, they were so in love. Like, they were like, you know, like they met when they were teenagers. Like, they were together for like a long time. They never split up or anything. So like my dad was like really like torn when my dad's like my mom died in the same year that my dad's mom died. So he had to lose his mom and the love of his life in the same year. So my dad was super depressed. My mom had terminal cancer.
So sorry to hear about
Like
her
my
mom.
dad had cancer before too. My dad had brain cancer. And then my mom had cancer before too. And then my mom's cancer happened to come back and then she died from it.
That is hard. Both parents having cancer, and then you think one beats it, then it comes back like that. I feel so sorry for her.
Why don't you write a book? Why does everyone say that?
And that was the start of it all.
Oh, 2 months? No. She got diagnosed with cancer in August and she died in November.
That's so sad.
Wait. Okay, this is gonna sound really sad, and this actually is really sad, but can y'all just listen to this for a second? Because, like, I've never really told anyone this. But when my mom died, I skipped school for, like, I think it was, like, literally just, like, a week. And then I went back to school, and tell me how my principal sat me down. And he was like, people die every day. Like, everyone's gonna die. Like, he's like, everyone's gonna die. Like, people die all the time. And then like he was like yelled at me for like skipping school for a week. You're supposed to get more than a week to take time off when you lose a loved one. Bro, if I was the same person I am now back then, I would have fucking knocked him the fuck out. Why is
Hi there,
everyone on crack
Trisha.
in your life? I don't know.
Tiny Dancer, you're so right. She should write a book with a ghostwriter because she has a very storied life. She literally has been through some shit. Like, there's been a lot of pimps who have tried to, kill her off her big time, trying to run her over with a car, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, she has some stories, man. Some stories, I tell you. A lot of stories she has.
No, I never told anyone that. I was kind of in shock. Like, cause like, how are you gonna sit me down a week after my mom died and tell me that people die every day and everyone's gonna die and that it's not really a big deal and that I shouldn't be skipping school? Like, I don't know. I should have told my dad. My dad would have came to the school and fucking flipped the shit.
So sorry to hear that, LA Evan.
No, it was kind of a shock too because when my mom was dying, he used to like bring me down to the office and like have like a social worker there and like they used to sit me down and be like, you're not going through what the average teenager goes through, like this is traumatizing, whatever, and they were so supportive. And then as soon as she died, it's like a flip switch and they just like started being fucking like assholes. No, I didn't graduate. Which of your parents is Native? My dad. But no, wait, I want to graduate though because Okay, this is gonna sound so bad. But anyways, my mom's like dying wish. I don't know. I feel like if she saw me now, she wouldn't feel the same. But like my mom's like dying wish or whatever, like the one thing she really wanted for me was for me to graduate high school. But like I'm doing good now. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I feel like she would be proud, but I don't like. I don't know. I wish there was a way to like talk to her and be like, "You still want me to graduate?"
Those sites are full of guys who are treating women like they're baseball cards, Kai Beer. That's what they do on those sites. I couldn't believe it. I was utterly disgusted how they talk about people who are human beings, people who have history, who have mothers, brothers, uncles, fathers, sons, sisters, but yet they get treated like they're baseball cards, putting up, their thoughts, their comments, as if, her rating is a 4 out of 5 because, she let me get her in the ass. Bunch of disgusting people on those sites, man. I can't stand it.
You should do a video of calling your principal and yelling at him now. Oh my god. Could I get arrested for that? Do you believe in life after death? I don't know what I believe. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I want to see a medium. I was waiting for things to open back up. My cousin told me that she sees a medium a lot, and she she suggested it to me, and I kind of want to really do it. Hold on, my best friend's blowing up my phone right now.
I agree with you. My direct carb Maven says, honestly, Sagi is still very young. I feel there's hope for her. She is by far smarter and more insightful than Amber or Chantel. Yes, she already has a street smarts because of what she's been through. She has, I believe, the biggest probability for change because she can at least accept that what she is doing is not cool. And she knows it's not because she literally has said so that she has a problem. She is problematic, and at least that is a start for change. Both Amber and Chantel, they don't even feel they're doing anything wrong.
I literally have the neediest, clingiest fucking best friend, bro. Like if I don't answer this girl, she'll fucking blow up my phone. But know what I took in? Me and my best friend have been best friends for over 10 years now. Oh shit, I don't know how to do this.
Right.
Where's her
Again.
number?
Moderate carb Maven.
Can't
Right
relate to
again.
what, hun? Yeah, the girl with the baby. You guys don't see her because she's a social worker and she can't be on social media. Everyone always says, like, oh, your best friend hates you. Your best friend doesn't like you. Like, your best friend never wants to hang out with you. Your best friend's never on your, like, you don't ever post her. Like, you're never with her. Guys, my best friend is a fucking social worker. She can't be on social media like that. She has a fucking family. She has a baby. She's really fucking mature. Like, she graduated fucking college. She's a social worker with a fucking child and a whole husband. She can't be on social media, bro.
True.
My toddler be
Carb
sitting here with
Maven
me trying
again.
so hard to talk to you. Could you tell him hi? Hi, honey. Do you know any more about your dad's tribe? I don't. Oh my god. You know what pisses me off? Okay, so my grandma was a Micmac Indian. No, not Tati. My friend Katie, the one with the baby. But anyways, my dad doesn't really know much about like native stuff either. But the thing is, like, all my grandparents died when I was like really young. Um, and I really want to like learn more about my background and stuff, but like I don't know who to ask because like I wanted like if my grandma was still around, like I would be like, oh, like hey, like can you like inform me more about this stuff? Like I want to know like more about my background and like everything, but like everyone's said, well, that sounds so sad. Everyone's dead. Like everyone in my family has died from fucking like cancer or like fucking alcoholism. Like I don't even know. There's no one to ask.
Tiny Dancer asks, where is Sagi from, Monty and folk? She is from the Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge area. That's the Tri-Cities, Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge. That's where she's originally from, which is 45 minutes to an hour west of Toronto. I would say west, but it's more like northwest to be more specific.
And then I was gonna ask my aunt, but okay. Oh my god, this is gonna sound fucked too. Oh my god, I'm just ranting to you guys all fucking day. Just allow me for now. I'm fucking drunk. I'm ranting. Okay, so when my grandma died, my aunt that like me and my dad like always used to like have like family get-togethers with, and like I always used to go to their house or whatever. She basically, she like when my grandma was dying, she kind of like tricked my grandma into signing something that like turned all the money over to her. So she ended up like just taking all her money when she was dying, and then when she died, like she just took all her stuff or whatever, and like my dad ended up like cutting her off. And like
Hey, Ali.
I want to talk to her because I know she's someone who would know a lot about the native like stuff, but I feel like if I do that, I'm betraying my dad because my dad doesn't like her, you know? Yeah. Like my dad hates her because like, you know, my dad like obviously loved his mom. Like I want to reach out to her because I know she knows stuff, but like if my dad finds out, he'll like feel betrayed, you know? I wouldn't talk to her if she did that to your gram. But these are things you need to know. Oh my god! Wait. Okay. Please listen to this. Please listen to this. Okay. No, I don't want to Google it. I want to know like what my family went through. I want to know like I want to know stuff that my family went through. I want to know like their experiences and everything, like being in the tribe, you know? But anyways, okay, guys, listen to this. Please listen to this and fucking pay attention to this. This is the most fucked up thing. So, you know how I went to jail? And you know how this girl tried to beat me up and she like threw me on the ground or whatever, and I ended up pepper spraying her in the face. And she snitched on me and I got sent to jail. I went to go add my uncle on fucking Facebook, and he has her as a friend. We have the same last name, and she's from the exact same fucking place as me.
If anybody doesn't know, she's talking about the incident where she was out in Norfolk County. So that's southeast of London, Ontario, if you want to figure it out. Norfolk County, where she was out with these girls. Another girl got into a fight with her. The video is actually still on Kiwi Farms. And the girl pushed her to the ground. Sagittariusshawty pepper sprayed that girl. Unfortunately, in Canada, pepper spray is illegal. The cops got called. The girls and her got into a car, drove off. The cops, stopped them, asked if anybody had pepper spray. Sagittariusshawty said she had pepper spray. Then an altercation happened with a peace officer between Sagittariusshawty and her, and Sagittariusshawty had to go to jail. So that is what she is talking about. about this situation right here.
I think we might be fucking related.
Well, that makes sense if they are related.
So I called my dad and I was like, Dad, do you know who the fuck this bitch is? And he was like, no. He was like, ask your uncle. And I don't know how to ask my uncle because if he says, yeah, like that's like your cousin or whatever.
Pause. Steph M is asking about Key, as in Key Casanova, which is actually a fairly big YouTuber. So search at Key Casanova. Her and Sagittariusshawty hang out. So Sagittariusshawty has a few, I would rather call them acquaintances that she hangs out with. One of them is Key Casanova. They are still cool. They just haven't been collabing or talking to each other much. Yes, there's rumors out there that they are fighting, that they're beefing, but nothing has happened between her and Key Casanova.
And then I'm gonna flip the fuck out and be like, well, can you fucking delete that bitch? She sent me to jail. It usually takes proof for a travel card, I believe. Yeah, so me and my brother got these forms in the mail, and you have to fill them out to fucking to apply for your native status card. But the thing is, me and my brother didn't live in Newfoundland long enough for us to get our status card. That's why I don't have a status card. And everyone's always like, oh, you're not native, you don't have a status card, like you're not half native, you're lying, like da 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 da. No. We got the forms to fill out and they rejected us because we didn't live in Newfoundland long enough for us to get the status card. Everyone else has the status cards, just not me and my brother. Because we got moved here when we were super young. Y'all can make up and be friends? No. Never in a million years would I be friends with somebody who sent me to jail, wrote a fucking statement about me, and fucking is a snitch. I don't fuck with snitches. I did Indigenous studies, and most Indian people do not have status cards. No! Oh my god. Why do people keep saying Newfoundland? Okay, this is how it's spelled. It's spelled New Found Land, but it's pronounced Newfoundland. And it's a place in Canada. It's a province in Canada. I'm not saying Newfoundland. It's Newfoundland. Yes, thank you guys. That's it. I think the Micmac community is pretty small. If you know names of some family members, I'm sure you'll be able to find out about them. Yeah, it's really nice there, but the winters are so bad. Like, they get snowed in so bad. Like the top of their, like, oh my god, when it's winter there, the winter, like, I'm drunk. Okay, when it snows there, the snow will literally cover the entire fucking house, and like it'll be like covering the whole door, and people can't get out of their fucking houses. That's how snowed in they get. People can't leave their door because it's full of snow.
True enough, it's like that. Bad winters.
Okay, I feel like I'm just like spilling my whole fucking life to you guys right now because I'm drunk and I have no friends right now. But anyways, okay, so this is what happened to my mom's side of the family. So basically when my mom died, everyone on my mom's side of the family just stopped talking to me and my dad.
Diddy asks, how many subs does Sagittariusshawty have? Sagittariusshawty is currently sitting at 108,000 subscribers.
They just basically like cut us off. And then, like, a couple of her relatives, like, whenever, like, I, like, got exposed. Okay, so, like, I got exposed, not exposed. Me and my friend purposely posted a video of me sucking dick. And then my principal found out and called my dad, even though I was 18 years old, and he can't do that. He called my dad and said, hey, there's a video going around of your daughter sucking dick. And my aunt, like, picked me up and, like, put me into, like, her car, and she was like, oh, like, I saw the video, like, what are you doing? Like, you never grieved your mom dying, like, da-da-da-da-da, and, like, whatever. And she, like, just kept staying around in my life for, like, the tea. Like, she wanted to fucking, like, she wanted to just, like, find out a bunch of shit about me, and, like, it was fucking annoying. Anyway, so after, like, after I became homeless or whatever, like, everyone just stopped talking to us. Like, my mom's family does not talk to us at all. Like, they're just, like, they're super trash. And, like, I don't know, like, my family is, like, super Christian or whatever, so, like, the face tats and, like, the fucking, like, me being a hoe or whatever, they don't approve of that shit, so they just don't associate with me. But, like, my dad's side of the family is, like, super chill and, like... Okay, this is gonna be really... I'm not really allowed to say this, but, like, a lot of my dad's side of the family is, like... They're, like, all Masons. So, yeah.
She's coming from a very, very tough lifestyle. I can only imagine 8 years in the game of being a working girl and not have trauma. Imagine that.
But yeah, and also my dad... Yeah, Freemasons. Also my dad's side of the family, like whenever I would get in trouble or like get stranded and shit, it's a Freemason. Okay. Oh my god, story time? I can't.
Hey, Polly.
Read up on it. No, Illuminati and Freemasons are completely different. But I can't tell you any further than that. Anyways, I shouldn't have even said that, to be honest. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, and then whenever I would get stranded and shit. Oh my god. Okay, another story time. Oh my god, another story time. So, this one time, this pimp, not me doing a bunch of fucking story time. Okay, anyways, so I got picked up by a pimp and he drove me to a telly. Yeah, I'm gonna delete this live after, thank you. I got picked up from a pimp and I got brought to a telly.
Zazu,
Yeah,
she's like that sometimes,
no,
all over
joking.
the place.
I don't know anything about Freemasons. Anyway, so I got picked up by a pimp and I got brought to a telly, and then he ended up like, I guess like he didn't know that I was like bigger in real life, so he ended up like screen record y'all. Fuck you, Audrey. Anyways, so he picked me up, he brought me to a telly, and then like I guess he like thought that I was like so fat that like I couldn't bring in money. So he ended up there's only 400 people on here. It doesn't matter, girl. But anyway, so he picked me up, he brought me to a telly, and then he ditched me at the telly. And then I was like, I messaged this girl that I met at a telly before, and I was like, yo, like, I need help. Like, can you get your pimp to fucking, come get me and, like, work me? Because, like, I'm already OT. Like, I'm already in Saga. So the pimp came and got me, and we were driving around, and,
her lips are purple, I guess, because she just got the fillers, and yeah, it's causing that effect.
We were driving around. Yeah, I'm gonna tell it again, whatever. So we were driving around, and me and the guy in the back ended up hooking up, and like I sucked his dick in front of everyone. Like the car was full of guys, and I sucked his dick in front of everyone. Then we ended up dropping everyone off, and then it was me and these two guys. This is a really traumatizing story, so if I start crying, just allow it. But anyway, so then we drop all the guys off, and then me and the two other guys, the driver and the other guy, and he was like, he put me in the front seat. He's like, come to the front seat. I come to the front seat. He's like, you're not allowed to get in my car and hook up with somebody in my car without hooking up with me too. And I was like, like, I'm not feeling you. Like, I don't want to hook up with you. Like, I was really drunk. Like, I was just like, And then he was like, no. He's like, I'm not letting you leave if you don't hook up with me. And
let me pause it here, people. If you haven't heard my trigger warning, please, this story is about grape stuff. Please, grape, drop the G. Trigger warning, impending situation happening now.
I was like, no, like, I want to go. And then I tried to get out of the car, and the other guy, like, pushed me down and, like, pulled down my pants. And then the driver came around, and he, like, raped me from behind. And then they, like, threw me to the ground, and they took all my stuff, like, all my phones. Like, they took all my stuff, and they just, like, drove off. And then I ended up going to the police station, and I was crying, and I was like, can I go get a rape kit? Like, like, I just got raped, like, da-da-da-da-da. And then they were like, oh, like, they didn't believe me. They thought that I was beefing with my pimp, and that I got into a fight with my pimp, and that I was trying to snitch on him. Because we got into a fight, and he didn't believe me because I was a working girl. And then he went to my friend's telly to talk to her to ask what happened. And he was like, oh, like, I think she's lying to us. Like, I think she just got into a fight with her pimp. And, like, they wouldn't give me a rape kit. They weren't doing anything about it. And then my cousin ended up coming to pick me up and drove me from Brampton to fucking Kitchener. And, like, I was like, oh, like, I just got, like, I didn't say, like, so casually. I was like, yeah, like, they just raped me. And, like, I was bawling my eyes out. And then she started bawling her eyes out. And then she's like, don't tell your dad this. And, like, I wasn't going to, but, like, she was like, don't tell your dad this because he will literally break down. Like, da-da-da-da.
Yeah, see, Tiny Dancer, this is a problem in society where just because you are a working girl doesn't mean you're lesser. Just because, you're doing this sort of work doesn't mean you're a bad person. A lot of people get into situations, like I said, all you need is the right trigger and circumstance to be a worker. I've heard stories of people who are nurses being workers, nurses being sex workers because their mom died or their dad died or their sister died. All you need is the right circumstances. And this is wrong because I've heard the stories that cops are never believing sex workers because there's still cops out there that feel that sex workers are lesser people. And that's just not right.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to. Someone said, no, nobody took me in when I was homeless. All of my family members would talk to me when I was homeless, and they'd be like, oh, like, there's not enough room here. You can't come stay on the couch, like, whatever. And then, like, it was the winter time. I was homeless during the winter.
Miss Agatha says, sex work isn't always connected to trauma. Please educate yourself. Well, Miss Agatha, we are educated here and in Sagittariusshawty's situation, since every situation is very specific and nuanced, her trauma is connected to her sex work. So thank you very much. Take care.
And it was snowing. It was fucking freezing. And, it was, oh my God, this is going to sound so bad. Don't hate my dad after I say this. Yeah, all my friends had their own places too, and they never let me stay there. That's why I say I don't have friends. Because how was I fucking homeless and none of you bitches let me stay over for even a night? But anyways, so it was snowing. I was fucking freezing. I was sitting outside of a Timmy's. And I called my dad and I was like, hey, like, it's like, I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, it's fucking freezing. Like, I'm freezing. Like, I'm cold. Like, my phone's about to die. Can I come stay the night possibly? And he literally just said no. He's like, no, you can't come here.
Miss Agatha, again, you say yes, but you were generalizing about all sex work. I don't believe it's a generalization. My conversation is very specific to Sagittariusshawty and her situation. So that is what the conversation is geared towards. So whenever I speak on certain issues and topics, hold it in a framework and frame of mind towards Sagittariusshawty and her specific situation.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking serious? And like to this day, like one of my friends would be like, oh, I feel so bad for people who are homeless, da 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 da. And I was like, I was homeless. And she's like, no, I mean people who like are really homeless, living on the streets. I'm like, I literally slept on the streets so many nights. Like, what do you mean, the real homeless people? Like, bitch, I slept on the street. And then I was, like, staying, like, I used to sleep on, like, McDonald's floors, and until they caught me. And then, I was messaging her, and I was like, hey, like, I'm sleeping in McDonald's, da-da-da-da-da. And she lived alone, and she could have let me come stay there. And she literally just said good night. Bitch, what do you mean good night? Yeah, she lived alone.
Can you imagine that you ask or you're looking for help from your friends, but yet they won't even let you stay over for at least just one night when you truly just need help for that one night? I can only imagine what she was going through, the hurt, the emotions that were going through her mind when she is in such a vulnerable position, especially when you're a teenager and then you say you have friends, these people call you your friends, but yet they can't even let you stay a night when they live alone. This is sad.
Oh, did I stay in any shelters? Okay. So, the one time that I tried, oh my God, maybe your behavior is why you have no friends, just a thought. Honey, no, I wasn't even a toxic person back then. Don't even trip, bye. I wasn't even drinking back then. The whole, like, year and a half that I was homeless, I never drank. My behavior has nothing to do with me being homeless and shit. Like, bye. Like, relax yourself. But anyways.
Venus, Gia, because you probably would have brought random men there. Would you want that in your home? Well, I guess that recent few words from Sagittariusshawty kind of answered that question because, yeah, you do got to consider that. You really do. Is this person that you're going to invite in your home going to bring random men there or cause drama? Well, from Sagittariusshawty's position, she just said that she would not have. So let's just all take all of this into consideration when we're trying to figure out what has happened to Sagittariusshawty in her own words and, you know, with her own thoughts.
Anyway, so what was I saying? Fuck you, you cut me off. Oh, okay, this might give away why I was homeless. But, so when I first became homeless, I stayed in a women's abuse shelter for women who were abused. And like they gave me like hold on, they gave me a room. They gave me like we all had like our own private rooms that had like a keypad that you had to like type in. And then the rooms had like showers and everything, and you were allowed to stay there for like a month or two. But you had to like look for housing while you were there. But I ended up leaving that shelter and like letting a pimp come pick me up and then letting him pimp me out. When I was homeless, my grandma took me in. Did your best friend of 10 years ever try to help you when you were homeless? No.
Anna Packy says, the trauma, that sexual trauma is not something you talk about like a weather forecast. This Sagi is lying about something. Under normal circumstances, I would say yes, but Sagittariusshawty airs out everything, all her stuff, literally every embarrassing situation. If you look through my playlist, my videos on Sagittariusshawty, I try and remain as neutral as possible, and she talks about all kinds of crazy situation. So judging and knowing all of that stuff, I would say what she's saying at this moment is very truthful, because she has been asked and questioned so many times about this specific situation, and she does not like to talk about it. And this is coming from a woman that talks about every single thing. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt, and you gotta actually have that in the back of your mind when you're really listening to what Sagittariusshawty is saying.
No. Nobody helped me. That's why I'm always like, oh, fuck everybody. I don't need nobody, da 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 da, because nobody, not a single soul helped me when I was homeless. And anyone who did help me made me sleep with them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given me a place to stay.
Tiny Dancer says, at Momosita, just wanted to say you're super beautiful. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, we had Momosita as a guest in one of my videos, I guess 2 or 3 days ago. So we will have Momosita back again. So hopefully we get our audio problems fixed and we can have her back on as a guest.
What the fuck? Yeah. But what's the backstory? Because it had to be a reason why nobody helped you.
Yeah, I sometimes think about it when she says all these things like, why didn't anybody help her? Why didn't anybody step up and help Sagittariusshawty? You know, everybody has their own reasons. A lot of people are very not open to have people over into their place because a lot of laws can take or go into effect once somebody is in your home. Like we talked about with Shani in Pennsylvania. If somebody stays at somebody else's place for 2 weeks, after those 2 weeks, they're considered a tenant, especially if you have your separate bathroom and kitchen. They're considered a tenant. So there's so much factors that go into when you're really pondering on this certain situation as to exactly why people didn't help. Is it because they truly weren't her friend? Or is it because Sagittariusshawty was showing certain behaviors that they didn't like? Or is it completely something different? Like, we really gotta ponder on the situation, and just judging by this, we can't really tell. I can't really tell. I can't come to a concrete decision to know why people who called her their friend would do this to her. I can't. But we got to think about it and factor in the law, how Sagittariusshawty's emotional state was at the time, plus, various other factors.
What do you mean? Why does it have to be something that I did? I wasn't a toxic person. Okay. Oh my God. Not me telling another story, but the day before I came homeless, this is what happened. So I was being pimped out by this guy, and he came to collect the money, and I hadn't made enough money that he was satisfied with it, and he thought that I was hiding money. So he ended up taking me out back, to this private area, and he put a gun up to my head, and he was
boy.
like, oh, run me my money, why are you hiding money, da 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 da, and the cops got called because people saw him trying to kill me or whatever. Like, I don't think he was ever gonna shoot me, but the cops came. They sat me in the back of the car. They tried to they tried to get me to give a statement. Da 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 da. And then I got stranded in Scarborough, and then my cousin had to come pick me up, and she took me from Scarborough to Kitchener, which is like an hour and a half drive. And then I'm not gonna say what happened, but basically me and my dad got into like a really violent fucking fight, and cops were called, and the cops came, whatever, and then my dad basically just said, "Don't come back here." And then I ended up going to the fucking oh, no. Okay, there were a couple friends who helped me out. So when that happened, my friend came and picked me up, and I stayed with her for a bit. But then the cops found out where I was living and came to her door, and they talked to her mom, and they were like, "Oh, like, there's pimps looking for Sagi and trying to kill her. I wouldn't let her stay with you if I were you." And then the mom got concerned and kicked me out. Then I went to go stay with the next girl. And I tried to kill myself at her house. I did it. Okay, this is going to sound like really like attention seeking, because it actually was. But I went on live on, I think it was IG, and I took a whole bottle of pills. Actually, a couple bottles of pills. And I downed 2 bottles of pills. And then the ambulance came, because I ended up calling them, and I was like, I don't want to die. Like, I regret taking all these pills. Can you come get me? And the ambulance came, and then the cops came too. And then the cops talked to her dad, and the cops were like to her dad, "Oh, there's pimps looking for her. She's an escort. Don't let her stay with her. Like, don't let her stay with you." And it was the same cop that kept doing this, going to all my friends' houses saying, like, "Oh, like, don't let her stay with you. She's an escort, and pimps are trying to kill her." There was no pimp trying to kill me. He left me. Like, he let me go. So anyways, like, they brought me to the hospital. They did, like, I had to drink the fucking...
All right, folks, I'm sorry about this. This goes on a lot more. Unfortunately, Sagittariusshawty has removed the video. Of course she would, because this is very traumatic, of course, and to even recall this situation can be extremely traumatic. I see there's a lot going on in the chat. A lot of people have a lot of different viewpoints and whatnot. A lot of people are very opinionated in the chat here. And, you know, I can understand all people's viewpoints. Everybody has their own opinion, right? But Sagittariusshawty has a good propensity for change. We can't change the past. Sagittariusshawty literally went through all this stuff, and it shaped her into being the person who she is. You can't deny her lived experience. So everybody, I know you guys have your own opinion and blah, blah, blah. Everything. I see what's going on in the chat, but we gotta, you know, respect each other. Respect that, you know, some people might not like sex work and some people will like sex work. But you can't take away from people's experiences, because everybody has their own unique experience in life. Monty, do you use Twitter by chance, or do you stay away from the cesspool? I do not have Twitter, but I'm thinking I should get Twitter because I don't know. I think I should get it, but I see that there's a lot of action that goes on Twitter, as well as Twitter is like the new Pornhub, you could say, where there is a little gray/blackish market where a lot of people are posting their XXX rated videos and pictures, and a lot of people are liking and loving those pictures. So I'll just put it that way. So if you did not know that about Twitter, well, now you do. There's a lot of stuff going on Twitter, a lot of grayish black market going on there. Zazu, you want to see those? Maybe I have already seen them. Maybe I have Zazu. I have seen them. So I would like to thank a lot of people. Chloe says, yes, she's extremely self-aware. She can change. Of course, she can change. She can change for sure. I say she has the greatest propensity for change out of all the girls that we have on here, including Mr. Jimmy Soroka. Let's just put him in there for true. Roxandra, hey everyone, hey Monty. Roxandra, you are the latest you can ever be, because we are just wrapping this up and you're here. Come on, Roxandra, come on. What's up with that? LA Evan agrees with me. Thank you so much for that agreement. Zazu, yes, for sure. Tiny Dancer says, hey, Rux. So I don't know, maybe we can talk more about the situation in terms of, working girl and whatnot. Like I said, there's a whole lot of discussion because a lot of actual sex workers like LA, New York, Toronto. Speaking of which, the third biggest place for, movies and sex work is Toronto. If nobody did not know that, LA comes in first, New York second, but Toronto has a booming videography, cinema, XXX stuff industry. So there you go if you did not know about that. But thank you so much for joining me. I guess our foodie beauty, our girl of infamy, did not come on during this live stream because I was like, how am I gonna do this? Because if she comes on, then I'm gonna have to stop this Sagittariusshawty live stream and kind of cue myself into stream sniping foodie beauty, but she didn't. I guess she's still having a fun, huge old time. Oh, she's on now. Oh boy. But you know what, this is already like an hour and 21 minutes. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna recap that stuff tomorrow. We're just definitely gonna recap foodie beauty tomorrow. I know she's live, but I don't want to take this into another like 3.5-4 hour stream. So yep, if you didn't know, foodie beauty is alive right now, and we will catch up with some more foodie beauty drama and everything tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, Moderate Carb Maven. If you have not seen Moderate Carb Maven's channel, then please take a look at her channel. She says Sagi is already strong. Amber and FB could never live through all Sagi has. Exactly. Stuff can be traumatizing. I'm not saying everybody gets traumatized by sex work, but it depends on how you got into sex work. Is it of your own volition or were you forced into it? Because a lot of people are forced into sex work and they will get traumatized. Anyways, that it for me. Thank you, Tiny Dancer, for being here. Yes, I will definitely make that Twitter. I was actually thinking about making Twitter today and yesterday, so I will get on it. So do not use my Twitter name, okay? Do not use that Twitter name. Stories from the internet, that's for me. Yes, don't forget to drop a like. Please help me with the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Check Dr. Emily out. You know who I am. Sometimes I like to creep certain channels. Maybe I shouldn't use the word creep, but I creeped Dr. Emily and she has some stuff on her channel, so check that out. Check out Moderate Carb Maven. Thank you, Polly. Thank you so much for joining me. Melissa Feeney, Tiny Dancer, Smile. Check out Mustang Sandy. She has a few videos out there, so check her out. Check out Momosita. I will link her channel. I was actually trying to get it, but I couldn't find it because the spelling is kind of unique, so I will plug that in. Maybe I will pin it at the top of the comments. Christine N, thank you. Dr. Emily, J. Romero, L.A. Evans, Zazu, of course. DD, of course. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for those of you that will be on. Thank you and take care. Have a good night.